Hello, everybody. I am sitting here with Jeremiah Weekley. He is the president and founder of FST, and we're going to ask him a few questions here on FST Insider. What brought you to the realization that it was time to start your own company?
Well, the blessing and the curse of being an entrepreneur is you always think you can do it better. And I always wanted to. I spent about 10 years in this industry, and I always had these ideas of, if only we did this, and this better, this would be a better product, better service. And it was really about service and support, right? And it came down to we had to do that. It had to be service and support heavy because people were trusting us for really large purchases. I mean, their whole operation can depend on our equipment. What good is that if it's down?
Right.
So seeing that need for more service and support is really what got us going.
What was a moment either before or during the start of FST where it was like, we got to make this work or we don't eat?
Well, from the start, because people invest in you and they believe in you. And, the budget wasn't bad considering what I thought it would be, but it's still, people have believed in you and they've supported you and they've poured money into something. And the last thing you want to do is feel like you let somebody down when they invested in you and your chance, right?
Right.
So we really started, as you know, upstairs in an old farmhouse. I mean, it was me, a decent website, a cell phone, and we were faking it until we make it. It's like, hey, I know what I want to do. We're going to present ourselves like we're doing that, and we're going to go get it.
Yeah. How do you push through?
That's a good question. And, as any entrepreneur will learn, that you learn and grow the most in those lonely times, right? I mean, you're going to have this road of, is this going to work? Self-doubt all the time. I mean, I still get it sometimes. And you just develop this grit that's going to carry you through. Like, I can't fail. I have to make it. People depend on me. Customers depend on me. Your family depends on you. You don't have a choice, man. You got to figure it out.
Do you learn that grit, or is that something that's already pre-built into certain people, or do you feel like you learn it along the way?
I could probably talk about that a lot, where it comes from. But I mean, a lot of that I think is going to be your upbringing. I've always been pretty gritty, not always in a good way. And I think that tenacity is just something that's either inherent or not. I mean, it's not for everybody. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I looked in the mirror and said, Jeremiah, why can't you work for somebody else and let them have the risk? Just make a nice salary, do a good job, represent a good product, and shut up. And I can't do it.
Yeah.
There are times I wish I could.
So what throughout FST has taught you about leadership and maybe some of the habits you've had to break along the way?
Well, when I was in my 20s and doing this originally, I was very headstrong, thought I knew everything with no real experience, right? So I was a lot more abrasive. It was a lot more my way or the highway. Didn't really want to listen to people, and I just wanted to bulldoze my way through. But then you learn, if you're going to do something, you can't do it without people. Mm-hmm. So if you don't win them over, customers or employees, then you're going to fail, Yeah. It has to be about them too, and it's got to be about something bigger than just making money.
Right. So when did you learn the difference along this path, or maybe before, the difference between identity and ego?
I think you still learn it all the time. I mean, there's this tendency to get on something like this and say, oh, let me talk about myself, right? Mm-hmm. But there's always this reflection point, and something's got to ground you in that. For me, it's my faith. You just have to go back to why you're doing what you're doing and who you're going to be. And I mean, I've gotten caught up in the identity of the businessman. It's going well. You feel good, a little hoorah moment. And it's just, it's vanity, man.
Yeah. What's a moment then that in your faith brought you to your knees and showed you that there was something bigger out there, that you needed strength from somewhere else to keep FST going?
To keep FST going in particular was probably one of the strange stories that people will relate to, people of faith, is early on, it felt like I wasn't gaining the momentum I wanted to, which would be any time because I just want to go, right? Mm-hmm. And I really felt hung up. The Lord was trying to tell me something and I didn't want to hear it. And I went to my partner at the time and I explained to him, and he said, you have to learn how to rest. And I'm not built to rest. And he's like, and that doesn't mean taking a nap. That means stilling your mind and listening, right? So in that, he said, you also have to pray to forgive the guy that I used to work for. I mean, there was a lot of hurt there. I wasn't treated well. I thought I'd forgiven, honestly, but I would take about 15 minutes every day, go outside, sit on a tree, and I would pray into that guy for him to be blessed, for him to know the Lord, for good things to happen to him and his company. And one day, as I was traveling to lunch, the Lord just showed me this picture of that man as a child. And his mother was just chastising him and just ridiculing him. And he was just drawn into himself, you know. And the Lord just told me, he said, look, he's my son too. And I mean, what can you do with that? You know, it makes you see somebody the way he sees them, and you got to let it go. And in that moment, there was a big breakthrough in FST and that forgiveness.
So as you talk about rest, what are some things that keep you up at night when it comes to like manufacturing and fabrication? And what bets are you making with FST to hopefully change the landscape of that?
It's, are we doing enough? Are we ahead of the curve? Are we really getting out there and getting the latest technology, trying to ensure the technology we do have stays the best, it stays vetted, we make sure they're innovating at the level our clients demand, and it's where do we go from here? What do we add? What else do our customers want? You know, and that's what I tell the sales guys all the time. I mean, you're there to solve a problem. Find out what it is. When we find out what that is, we're going to go get a solution.
Yeah. So in FST, especially here recently, or at least the time that I've been here, there's been a huge emphasis on like nurturing culture. Is there a specific moment when you saw how culture can shift and change somebody that works here?
Yeah, we've seen it here, but we've also seen it in clients all the time. Mm-hmm. You can tell when you walk into a client when they have a fear-based culture. And with those companies, you can't make good headway. You can't trust the information you're fed because it's to avoid blame and not take ownership and accountability. And that's a difficult customer. So you take those lessons, bring them back to your team. Look, the guys here, they can make mistakes. And there have been some big ones by me too.
Yeah.
And it's okay. The mistake is fine. Just don't make the same mistake over and over. Then we have a problem, right?
What's your favorite part about FST?
Definitely the clients, man. I mean, it's the employees too. I mean, just people. Seeing them do well, seeing them thrive. I mean, but you get to hear these stories from these customers about generational business, family business, bootstrap business, and how they got where they are. And that is the coolest thing, those stories. And it's usually the coolest part of the story is the failure and the pain that got them there, not when they're winning and at the top, it's how they got there. Yeah. That just intrigues me.
What is that failure, that pain, the grit? What has that done to change who you are throughout the course of this business and even before?
Definitely made me a lot more patient, a lot more graceful. I mean, I know the areas where I've screwed up, I'm pretty hard on myself too. So I try to remember that before I take that personality and push it on somebody else. I feel like we do give a lot of grace here. I mean, I said I've had some big mistakes here where in any other company, somebody'd probably be fired immediately.
Yeah.
And depending on that person, and why you think it happened and who they are at their core, that's really not always the way we handle it, you know?
Yeah. So then if you could go back 10 years and talk to that Jeremiah, what's one thing you'd give him that if you could boil it down to one big lesson, what's the lesson you'd teach him?
You can't please everybody. You know, you have to have boundaries. Saying no is okay. That can be to a client. It can be to family members. It can be to friends. You cannot win for everybody all the time. You have to take care of yourself too. And because I like to put everything on my shoulders, I want to win for everybody. I want people around me to do well, to love life, to be blessed. I can't do that. That can only come from one place.
How do you know when a client is a good fit for us here at FST?
Typically, if you find inside that culture that they're trying to be innovative, they're trying to push, and it's not, you know, automation, semi-automation, or better processes is not eliminating employees. It's moving the labor burden somewhere else. There will always be a bottleneck, and then we'll help them solve that bottleneck. And typically when we do that, you don't cut their labor force, you move it somewhere else, right? The opportunity is still there. And so you see these companies grow and thrive, and you know you played a part in it. We've done some cool stuff, man. I mean, private aerospace, things that leave the atmosphere. I mean, who thought we'd be there? Food, beverage, pharmaceutical, DOD. I mean, you name it, we've done it, and it's cool. We get a variety of stuff.
Yeah. What do you feel like your superpower is that you bring to FST? What's your favorite part of your position here as the president, or what you do that you feel like makes the most impact on not only the employees, but the clients as well?
I don't really think I have a superpower, but definitely leading people and pushing them, to expand their abilities, their goals. I mean, I'm going to push people outside their comfort zone. That's what I do. And I feel like I'm good enough at that to subtly do it where you don't overwhelm somebody, you don't break them down, but you're building them up in the process. So me, I mean, at this point, more the vision guy, right? What are we going to do next? And there's always people like, oh, can we really do that? Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, if we believe we're going to do it, we'll do it.
You not only push people out of their comfort zone to work hard, but you also kind of push them to play hard too. I feel like, what do you think bringing that sort of fun atmosphere to the job helps?
I've just been a part of too many places that didn't care about you personally.
Yeah.
And the only guy that ever won was at the top. So you see them doing the cool stuff. You see them on their jet. You see them on all this, right? If that doesn't trickle down, whether you realize it or not, there will be resentment. I mean, even in little things, you have to be careful, right? You don't have to hide who you are if you're willing to share.
Right.
So, I mean, here we do. We have a lot of fun. We do cool stuff. Last week, you were at Garrison Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many people get to spend a day on the job at a whiskey distillery with a partner of ours, right? But the days before and the days after, you guys were working hard.
Yes, sir.
I mean, there's always room to take care of people that are working hard. They're giving up time with their families. They're giving up part of themselves, and I want everybody to win and feel like it.
So let's fast forward 40 years, 50 years. At the end of this or your run, what are you hoping that people say about you, not only as an entrepreneur, but as a husband, as a father, and as a contemporary?
Most important is going to be, he was a good husband and a great father, right? And hopefully great at both of those. Got a lot of work on both of those, but I mean, your family is your legacy. It's outside of FST. It's going to be the kids that I put out there, and that's the greatest job I have. Now, if we're talking about the business, I want people to say he built a business that treats people the way I would want to be treated, like it's their money, like it's their risk.
And how do you balance that? How do you balance being great at business and great at home?
Being great in general is like, it's always like chasing something right that you feel like you'll never achieve, for sure. Balancing that is knowing when to go home. If I travel, and I used to travel a lot more, fortunately, we've got a really good team, does a lot of that now. When I do, I try to make sure that time that I'm back counts, right? Something special. I mean, it's not about buying my kids something. They want my time.
Right.
And that's it. So like we get back, we're going to do something as a family. It might be a movie night. It might be a little trip. It's something.
Yeah. What does the word time mean to you?
Never enough of it, and you're never going to get it back. All right. And that's the thing you learn in business is the further you go, the more you realize that is the most valuable thing you have. Where I put my time is valuable to me. And that's where you learn to draw the boundaries too. It's okay to say no. You have a finite amount of time. You have a family to take care of. You have friends. You have your personal health to take care of, and you have your employees. And those things have to matter, and there's got to be time for all that.
Yes, sir. What are your biggest hopes for FST down the line? What's the big vision?
I feel like we have a culture where everybody feels like an owner of FST, right? Long term, I want everybody to continue to feel that way. Our culture fit is important. I would love to see us expand because I know what we do very well. And I know we can take that to other areas, right? Probably multi-location would be the goal because we can better serve people when we're closer. We do a good job now, but there's always room for improvement, right? And there are other markets we don't hit as hard as we should that we're going to focus on. So I would say we want to make sure we just give that customer the feeling like they're the only customer. I want every client we have to feel like they are a big fish in a small pond. But I want our employees to feel that way too. I don't ever want us to feel so corporate. People are pushed so hard that they're not enjoying what they do. If you don't want to be here, we don't want you. It's that simple.
How do we get there? What are some of the core tenets that you're putting in place to get us from where we are to where you hope to see us?
Well, we definitely have to value people, right? That's the highest, is valuing people. Whether they're difficult people, whether they're wrong. Years and years ago, a guy that mentored me some in sales told me the customer's not always right, but they're always the customer. And it's so true, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're right if the customer doesn't feel good about it.
Yeah.
Right? There's a way to go about it. There's a way to address that, a way to discuss it, and that customer needs to feel like they matter. And so does every employee. So one thing we do, we spend a lot of time one-on-one. We get a chance. Our clients get our time. Employees get our time. We do cool things like 4th of July. Christmas is big. Everybody knows I'm the office Santa Claus. Love it. Even some of the kids I've started doing the cowboy Santa Claus thing for. Like, that is one of the things I enjoy the most. Yeah. My wife will tell you it's ridiculous, over the top. You're doing too much. How do you top it next year? And she's right.
Right.
She's absolutely right.
Yeah.
But I love doing it.
Thank you for your time in this and for kind of sharing some of the wisdom that you have. I look forward to, as we continue FST Insider, that we can kind of dig deeper and learn more about the ins and outs in the day-to-day, as well as these kind of big picture items.
Yeah, for sure. We can't really do FST Insider if I don't get on here too, right?
That's right.
We just make the guys do it. So it's only fair.
Yeah. Well, I do appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you.